started sharing that with our own mastermind group in Greensboro. That began 19 months ago. It amazed us, the explosion that took place. There was an attraction that developed. There was a level of success with all the students. Our business was growing. We began interacting with the student base, creating opportunities for you, creating opportunities for ourselves. And in doing that, what we learned about it was you working in that marketplace and me being in there for years doing it and doing business, you bypassed all the little stuff that we had to learn. So we were finding that the students were growing faster. I mean, it took me 2 years from my original training process to get into buying houses before we started our mastermind group. And then we started the mastermind group, we took off. Well, I had 2 years of expenses and costs and training and education to get there, which was not cheap when you deal with the national gurus. And so what we learned in our mastermind group in Greensboro was that you guys bypassed a lot of that basic stuff that I had to pay dearly for, and you got that done into the mastermind group with our interaction, with our experience, and we mixed it up into a format that allowed you to be exposed to it. So your learning curve goes like this instead of like this. So our learning curve was like this, and then it went up like this. Y'all's learning curve is going just like this, straight up. So y'all, what I see for each individual in this room in this real estate business, if you'll stick with the mastermind group and follow your coaching, follow the accountability, follow your training, you should be buying properties in 6 to 9 months, and you should be on your way. The basics that we deal with in our mastermind group is, like I said, the concept is from a business perspective. All the failures that we saw in our mastermind group nationally, every single failure was because they started buying stuff that was over their head, speculating. They didn't have a business plan, they didn't have a vision, they didn't have goals, they didn't have a perspective. They were hoping is the word, I think. And we bring it down to earth and make it very realistic and keep you on track. And that's the hardest thing it is to do with the entrepreneur especially, is to keep them focused and on one track. We like rabbit trails. We like different opportunities. You think about this and think about this and think about this. And the reason for the business plan is because it's your business plan, but it's your coach's way of keeping you on track to your vision. You create your business plan with a vision at the end, then he can say, well, is this right for you? I don't know. Let's look at your business plan. This is what your plan says. This is your budget. This is this. This is this. All right? This doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit in your budget. So let's go back to your business plan. Let's keep you on track here. And your coach can keep you going that way. Now, your business plan will change. I promise you that. It'll change a lot in the first year or two. But after a while, you start learning the metrics. You start learning the parameters. You can start learning what you can take and what you can't do. And the beauty of that is in about 2 to 3 years, you're going to see some huge results. So what I say to you tonight is, Mastermind Group is not all about me. It's not all about Fred. It's about you interacting with her and her interacting with him. Fred's experience, my experience, mixes together to create this third viewpoint that's superior to any one person. So that's the beauty of a mastermind group. If you know anything about the Napoleon Hill book, Think and Grow Rich, you go back to the Carnegies and those guys when they started developing the revolution, so to speak, and industrial revolution in the United States. What did they do? Mastermind group, the Forge. All those guys sat around a table just like this talking about their business. But they had one common goal, and it was, how do we achieve our goals? And you start mixing those minds together and start mixing a focus on a particular business, and you'll be surprised at what happens. So we appreciate you tonight. It thrills me to see the concept continue to grow like it does, and just to be a part of it. And so I know Fred and I had joined together a couple, 2-3 years ago, and I've had the joy of watching him grow from where you are and where you are to where he is today, to where he could quit his job, where he could tell his boss, it's okay, I'm gone. How many of you like to be there? Okay. It takes a moment to get there, and it takes some planning, and it takes some coaching, and it takes some strategies, but you can do it, because I've seen it, I saw it myself, I experienced it. We took $20,000 out of 5 properties 7 years ago to create a pretty good thing. So, and I haven't worked in the W-2 job since 2007. It took me about 3.5 years to get to the point where I could quit my job, and then let it pay me enough so I could eat for a couple of years. Sacrifice period. And then all of a sudden you'll realize our viewpoint is long-term. There is some short-term strategies that mixes in with it, but the viewpoint's long-term, because once you get there, you're done forever. We're done forever. But now it's time for us to get back and share with you guys. And that's our goal. And that's the purpose of the group. The other thing is, the beauty of the side product of it all is we'll learn to do business together. You'll know me, I'll know you. You got an opportunity, I got an opportunity, we can get to share. And that's another part. When you hold somebody's hand and you're in business with them together, you both have a common goal to be successful. And what happens with practical application? You learn. You learn how to do business. You learn how to do business the way we see things, and the way we look at the highest and best use of the money and the finances, so that you can go further without getting stopped in your game by irrational decisions or the little rabbit trail we take every once in a while, that it will stop. And we learn that the hard way. You don't have to, but I'm sure some of you will anyway. It's just the way we are. We're wired that way. We're all the same in a lot of ways. We want what we want it right now, most of the time. But you won't have to do that as often or as many times if you're sticking with the group. And kind of the echo here says, oh, well, he said that, I shouldn't have did that, but I did it anyway. And you don't have to do it 2 or 3 times like I did. I'm hard-headed. So, again, welcome, and this is your floor. Thanks.
Excellent, thank you. Heard it said many times in seminars that the only difference between you and that successful person they point to in the room is the time. And I'll say that that is a difference, and Jim, you pointed that out, but it's not really, for me,